What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Get Real Bass Fishing. Today we are going to be talking about bucktails, and we're going to be looking back at the last year that I was fishing. It's always cool to look back at your logs, look back at the videos, look back at the pictures, and try to figure out what worked last year or what was the best thing that worked, when was the best conditions, did one bait work more than the other bait, why did it work, where did it work, and how did it work. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look back at the last year. And today, in this video, we're going to be talking about bucktails, and then we're going to be doing multiple videos like this, talking about how the topwater action was, when it worked, why it worked, how it worked, what gear did we use. Then we're going to do the same thing with swimming baits and stuff like that. So, let's go. So where it comes in handy is actually looking back at the pictures you took. So some guys might freak out about you taking pictures of every single fish you catch, but what you don't know, I'm pretty sure this works on Androids as well, but on the iPhones, you can take a picture and set GPS location, and it's gonna pick up the time, the location, exact location you took that picture, and you're also gonna have the background of that picture. So you're gonna be able to see if it was windy, if there were rough waves, if you were in a rip, wherever you might be, you're going to be able to pick that all up on your picture specifically from your iPhone or whatever like that. If you don't do a log, taking a picture is a good thing. Do you have to take a picture of every single fish? No, but take a picture of your first fish or your fifth fish. Something that's going to give you a roundabout time. You're going to have the date. You can look back at the tide and figure out what worked and why it worked. But we're going to look back at our phones, and luckily for me, I upload a lot of things. So I'm uploading onto Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And you guys are probably watching this on one of those. So we're just going to go to my channel, we're going to go to my videos, and we're going to look back, because a lot of my video titles and thumbnails have to do what's going on in the video. There's barely any clickbait, it's exactly what's going on. So if we look back at the beginning of the year, we're going to see a bunch of bucktail videos that are, here's one. It is bucktail fishing in inlets in crazy winds. So right there, I know specifically I was fishing an inlet, and now I have the date that I was uploading, and I also have the conditions. In the video, I can see, was the wind going north, was the wind going south, was the incoming tide, or was it an outgoing tide? And in there, I also talk about what weight. So if I'm using a 2 ounce and why it worked, I'm going to see that a 2 ounce went down all the way to the bottom. I was working the bottom and jigging it, and I caught a big bass. This one just so happens to be the specific bucktail that I caught that replica fish on. My biggest bass of the year. It was on a 1.5 ounce spikes bucktail, which is the ones I make. And I had two specific things on here. I had the fat cow forktail, and I also had a little gotcha grub on there. That's the 4-inch, I believe. And it was a white on white with red thread. So now I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. We're going to look back at that. Now, another thing, I'm going to go on Instagram and I can check the pictures. Typically, I describe what's going on. So if we go back into the pictures, we're going to see a lot of really cool things that went on with bucktails this year. Whether it's my videos, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it might be, my vlogs, we're going to see that not only did a 1.5 ounce bucktail catch me big fish, a 1/4 ounce bucktail caught me big fish. I caught a couple 20s, a little higher 25s on a 1/4 ounce bucktail. Again, this is a spikes bucktail. This is the ones I make, sell them on the website, smoochandrelease.com. But it's so cool that a specific bait can work differently in different times, in different areas, and still catch big fish. Like when you think about it, and you ask anybody that doesn't know fishing, big bait catches big fish. But in a specific condition, this bucktail, 1.5 ounce, and this bucktail, a 1/4 ounce, you can see the size difference of these, caught big fish. So the versatility of a bucktail is just mind-boggling. If you are getting into striped bass fishing or surf fishing in general, because you can catch fluke, bluefish, stripers, you can even catch sea robins if you're just willing to catch a fish, shad, whatever. You can catch them on bucktails. But if you want to get into fishing and just catch a fish, and you don't know how to work a darter, you don't know how to work a bottle, you don't know how to work top water, you just want to throw something out there with a trailer, a bucktail is that bait. So that's what's really cool about is, you know, looking back at these videos, you get to see everything that you're catching. But however, there's so many different conditions that you can fish bucktails. And you can fish them in the wind, you can fish them in the rips, heavy current, big sweep, big surf, whatever it might be. You just have to make sure you make the correct choice on what weight that you want to throw. So there's a bunch of different ways to fish big water. So you can fish big water with a big bait, whether it's a 2, 3, 4, 5, or even just a 1.5 ounce bucktail. But you can also go ahead and throw a 1/2 ounce bucktail. The amount of fish that I've caught simply floating bucktails, and by that I mean casting out into the surf or the rip, whatever, where there's moving water. That's what I mean by floating, is you cast out something light. You just cast it out to whatever it might be. It might be a cut. So all the waters in the troughs are funneling out. So you're gonna cast here and you're just gonna float a bucktail probably 1 foot, 2, maybe 3 feet above the bottom or underneath the surface of the water. And you're just gonna float that bad boy with the trailer on it. And that's all it's doing. It's literally just moving like that. And you could catch fish. If the fish are up in the water column, a lighter bucktail, and they're close in, you're gonna be able to catch some big fish. The same goes for a 1.5. If you are throwing a 1.5 ounce bucktail, in the same conditions, you got heavier sweep right at a cut, you're gonna throw that thing's gonna go straight down to the bottom, or maybe it's a 3 ounce, however deep and however fast it's moving. You're gonna go straight down to the bottom, but they might be on the bottom. So using the same exact bait, you're dropping down to the bottom, you're hopping the bottom like that, so you're bouncing it off the bottom with the blood trail and a curly tail, which is bringing action in. You can catch fish on the bottom. The same thing goes for the middle. If this is a 1.5 and this is a 1/2 ounce, maybe you throw a 1 ounce or a 3/4, you get down a little bit more in the middle if the fish are suspended there, you're gonna catch fish. The versatility of a bucktail, if you had one bait to pick, I would suggest throwing bucktails, figuring it out. There's really no way that you could possibly fish a bucktail wrong, but there could be a time where you're fishing the bucktail wrong. So like I said, if they're on the bottom, you're throwing a light one on the top, they might not necessarily go after it. However, you switch it up, 15 casts not working on the top, throw a little heavier, get down to the bottom, you're gonna catch a fish if they're on the bottom. It's really cool, the versatility of this bait. A lot of baits are versatile, but you gotta work them differently. However, this is just a lead weight. You cast out, you work it on the bottom or the top, wherever it is, and you're gonna catch fish. Another cool thing about bucktails is they're so cool. Like, you can do anything with them. Like this one. I wanted to make a really cool series for myself and for Erica. I surprised her with this one. This is actually a gold sparkle one. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but it's a gold sparkle one with gold thread and gold flashing on it. So it's just something that's a little bit different. You're not gonna see those in stores. Some custom guys might do it, but also you can add a bunch of really cool feathers to it. So it looks like there's paddle tails or something like that attached to the bucktail. You got these, they come in so many different colors. It's chartreuse head, chartreuse fur, thread, and then you throw a little fluke on it, or you throw a fat cow, or you throw a little jig, a little grub on there, and it's just like you can turn it into anything you like. In freshwater fishing, there's something called a brush hog, and that is one of my all-time favorite. My buddy Richie, he swears by the brush hogs when it comes to bass fishing, and so do I. I've seen him catch fish, and I've caught plenty of fish on it. However, they come in pink, and the way that brush hogs are, they go straight up, and then they curl out and back in. You put that onto a small little 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce, or maybe even a 3/4 ounce bucktail that's pink, you're imitating squid. So now when the squid are in the bays or squid are in the ocean or wherever you're fishing and you see squid, you throw that bucktail, most likely with the same appendages as a squid, you're imitating the squid, you're gonna catch a fish. Pink is great for bucktails and for curly tails like that when you're catching squid all around and you want to catch a bass. Like I said before, you can catch a lot of fish on bucktails. Like I was catching a bunch on the 1/4, 1/2 ounce, and 3/4 in the spring. I was catching fluke on these same things in the fall. So whatever it might be, whatever presentation you're throwing, you have a lot of different chances of catching fish. Whether it's a small bait like this, which was imitating peanut bunker at the time when I was catching nonstop fluke, or you're throwing something like this, which is imitating the shad that are around, or bigger bait fish, medium-sized bunker, or whatever it might be. These can even imitate mole crabs for the heck of it. You know, you pinch this down and that's a little mole crab on the bottom. If you can get it on the bottom, you're good. Another thing that's really cool about bucktails, like I said, you can cast them out, you can float them, or you can dead drift them, you can bop them on the bottom. However you want to do it, it's based off of weight and presentation. Whatever fish are present on the bottom, however it is, you can fish it so differently and catch the same amount of fish. It's all about changing and figuring out your pattern. Fishing is nothing but patterns. So if you can figure out if they're on the top, then you're going to catch fish. If you can figure out they're on the bottom, you're going to catch fish with a bucktail. Even if you only have a 1 ounce or a 1.5 ounce, keeping your rod tip up on the water surface with the jig up higher, you can still catch fish on the top of the water column. Or if they're on the bottom, you drop your tip a little or reel slower and just pop it off the bottom. Same exact thing. Same with lighter ones. You can throw the lighter ones, let them drift down a little bit heavier down to the water, on the bottom of the water, and you're still going to catch fish. There's so many different ways, and you can catch fish all the time. Same thing for boats. If you're in a kayak or a boat, charter, whatever, you're going to be using those jigs straight down. You can catch fish just popping it right off the bottom like that. Fluke, blues, stripers, whatever it might be, you can work it just up and down straight vertical and you're going to catch fish. Or you can cast it out like we are from the surf and the beach and catch fish. Like I said, versatility of the bucktail is insane. I hope you guys enjoyed these clips. Just a little proof that what I'm saying is actually backed by video proof, and you guys see the conditions in the back, you see the rod length, you see the rod reel line, how I'm working it, and we're catching fish. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, let me know in the comment section below, because I have so many stories. I could literally just break down the 1/4 ounce bucktail, straight up and just talk about it forever. Or I can talk about a 1 ounce bucktail, or I can talk about a swim bait. I can have so many stories of fish that I've caught on different baits, different presentations. If you guys like these, let me know, because I could just post these all the time. I'd love to hear some stories about your bucktail catches. If you've caught big fish on small bucktails or small fish on big bucktails, however it is, I guarantee you we're going to see a lot of stories in the comments that back up exactly what I said, that they're so versatile and they catch fish. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Shameless plug, I sell these boxes. They're 1/4 ounce, half, 3/4, 1 ounce, and 1.5 ounce packages that you can buy on the website. I'll link it down below, smoochandrelease.com. It's specifically our bucktail box, so you can buy 1 of each, 2 of each, or 3 of each, and we'll load the boxes for you with 3 of each. They're all priced differently, but they're awesome stocking stuffers, and or just something you want to throw in your backpack. Or check this out, they fit inside your sweatshirt. So if all you have is a bucktail, or you throw diamond jigs in here, or small swim baits, you have it in your sweatshirt. You don't even need to carry around a lot of things. But that's what it is. I would really appreciate the support. If you guys could make those purchases, it helps push these, it helps me make these videos. It gives me the financial ability to make videos and post them for you guys. So thank you guys for watching. Stay real, smooch and release, and have some fun on the water. We'll see you next time.